I'm the husband of one wife, the father of one son. Life should be simple for me, but I am somewhat of a musician. My name is Hovig. Welcome to my podcast, Drop a Note. Welcome to a special episode of my podcast in which I get to interview probably the second most popular product of Cyprus. You may be wondering which one is the first. I will tell you at the end of the episode. Try to figure it out until then. But back to the person I will talk with today. If you are a tennis fan anywhere in the world listening to this, you would know him. And even if you are not, you would most probably recognize his face if I showed you his picture. He is the former world number 8 and 2006 Australian Open finalist. He has played epic matches against the likes of Andre Agassi, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic, to name a few. And even though he is retired now, he remains a firm crowd favorite as he plays at tennis legend tournaments around the world. And the amazing thing is that he comes from our small island of Cyprus. In fact, from my own town of Limassol. He is our very own Marcos Baghdatis. I recently had the privilege to interview Marcos at the Heritage Private School here in Limassol. We had a live audience of young tennis players and their families, and the setting, as you will hear, was quite casual and relaxed, a bit like a head-to-head chat in a living room with the audience and you now acting the part of the eavesdropping neighbors. I think you will enjoy these excerpts from the interview and find plenty of heartwarming, challenging, and inspiring moments in what Marcos will share, even if you have no interest in tennis. So sit back or continue jogging if you're listening to this while you jog, and let's go together to the Heritage Auditorium and meet the Cyprus tennis legend. I first asked him to introduce us to his wife, Carolina Sprem Baghdatis, who herself was world number 17 in the women's game. How did they meet?
And the first time I saw her, she was coming out of Wimbledon, the main gate where all the players enter. And I said, wow, and she didn't even look at me. And then, it was like 6 years later, we met again in Brisbane and had our first date in Sydney the week after. And since then, she's everything to me, and
That's beautiful. That's Carolina, by the way. Carolina Sprem. World number 17 in the women's game. So you guys met as tennis players, and now you have a family of 3. I want to show also this young lady. Zahara she's over there also, the firstborn. Marco, when you held her for the first time, the emotions you felt, again, I don't want to get very emotional, but compare the emotions of being a father for the first time holding her and winning your first ATP title or something like that. Does it compare?
I want to go into the whole day when she was born, actually. I was in Sweden, Stockholm. I was playing a tournament. It was Saturday. Carolina had an appointment with a doctor. She was not due that date. She was due 28th of October. That day was 20th of October. She had a checkup. I was playing against Tsonga. And before I say that, I want to say that I played Tsonga in Dubai the same year. I finished the match. I lost to Tsonga, and she announced to me that she's pregnant. And then the 20th of October, playing Tsonga around 12 o'clock, semi-finals of Stockholm Open, and Carolina's having a checkup. I have her on the phone at 10:30, around just before my match. She tells me I'm having a checkup now at 11, everything's fine, blah, 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 okay, talk to you later. So I went on court. I actually retired at 3-2 in the third set against Tsonga. I had a pain in my groin. I couldn't continue the match. I went into the locker room, and I'm calling Carolina, no answer. And then all of a sudden, her sister is calling me, and she told me, "You're a father." And I'm like, "What?" So I took the first flight out the same day, connection through Munich, missed my second flight, Munich, Zagreb, had to stay at night at the airport. I arrived the next morning and I see Zahara and I was so scared to pick her up. Literally, like a small, I don't know, human thing. Yeah, it was like, and then the first time you pick her up, you just, it's just that feeling that I don't think a person can describe. Very scary, very, emotional, but now they're growing, they're big, and
I think all parents here are sort of resonating with you on that. Yeah, it's special. You should have called her Tsonga maybe. And La Tsonga.
If it was up to me, yeah.
It wasn't up to you. There are many sports stars that once they stop their career or finish their career, they sort of seem to lose their way because they can't reach the same heights they had, but is it fair to say that you are finding in your family the daily joy and purpose that maybe is even better than winning the tennis tournaments you had?
Definitely, watching your kids grow in the way that you can never say imagine it 100%, but very close as you imagine it. I think it's an unbelievable feeling and an unbelievable luck. I'm so grateful for that. And a lot of athletes lose their way, but I was lucky enough, like I said before, to have Carolina, to have a lovely family before I retired. And it was an easy transition because of my family. I had a home to go back to, and I didn't finish my career and felt lonely, which most of the people do, because I can tell you, when you're famous, you have so many friends, but when you finish your career, all these friends disappear, and they're not there for you. And for me to be able to come back and have a home, have a family was very important, and it was an easy transition for me.
So, did you have tennis idols besides your brother?
Yeah, I had Andre Agassi. First match I ever saw on TV was the '92 Wimbledon Championships finals against Ivanisevic. And after that day, when I even remember the scene when Andre fell on his face after he won the match and started crying. There was a lot of emotion going in my world at that time. And then after that match, I wanted to change my name to Andre Agassi and get the hat, the hats with the ponytail. So he was one of my. And then growing up, I loved Rafter also, Patrick Rafter, because of his style and the way he was on the court, and just.
Right. As you're 13 years old, the opportunity came for you to go abroad. And this is something I'm sure some parents are interested, because there are young tennis players, there are other things. And I know you said your mom was not keen on you going, of course, no mother would. But how did that decision come about at the end? Was it a family decision you sat together and discussed? A big step, major step.
Yeah, it was a big step, but there was a big reason behind it. So I don't know. My older brother wanted to become a professional tennis player, Marinos. He had a car accident.
Okay.
And he just stayed for a long time in the hospital. The family went through a lot of tough moments, financial, emotional. And one day, I remember that day we were driving my younger brother, Petros, my middle brother, to the army in Asgata. And my father asks me, do you want to play tennis again? Because I stopped in that period for a year and a half, I stopped playing tennis. And I'm like, yeah, why not? And then the first thing I go home and I do was tell my mother, I'm gonna be a professional tennis player, and our lives will change. So there was a big reason behind it. And yeah.
Emotion. But you discovered you went there to France. You didn't know French?
No, I didn't know French. I was at a tournament in France, actually, in Paris, and an agent came to me, which was an agent that worked in Patrick Mouratoglou's agency company.
Yeah.
And he told me, do you want to come? You know, he started talking to me, blah, blah, blah. And then I say, no, you talk to my father. And then that's where we went to the, back then, Bob Brett Tennis Academy. It was not Mouratoglou, it was Bob Brett Tennis Academy, which the agency Mouratoglou was working with. And my father told me, this is a place for you. So this was in October, and in February 2000
Was that's when you moved.
When I moved.
Yeah.
I arrived in France on Sunday. Monday, I went for my first practice. Monday afternoon, I went to my French family. My father tells me, I'll see you tomorrow, because he was staying in the hotel. I come to the academy, my father's gone. So the first 4 months was hell. Was hell because, you know, I arrived there as a kid from Cyprus I was chubby, no fitness, you know, we did some fitness tests, everything was bad. So I had one person there who was very important for me at that time, Jean-Paul, his name, Jean-Paul Damit, he was my coach at that time.
Okay.
He, you know, when we did the test after the first week, everybody was like, he's not fit enough, he's not this, he's not that, his fitness is for a 6-year-old, you know. And he told me, listen, Marcos, you are what, number 20 in the world in your age with no fitness. Imagine if we sit here, I mean, we stay in France for the next 4 or 5 months, we do a fitness schedule, we do only training. What can you do?
Reach?
What can you reach? And I mean, he made me took this, and I learned from that day, you know, how you can turn something negative into positive.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very important thing to learn in life. And he teach me that, and then, I stayed in France for 4 months in Paris, every morning, waking up at 6:30, 6 o'clock, taking the bus at 6:15, coming to the academy at, you know, I needed an hour and a half to get to the academy with the bus, metro, bus, academy, and then at night doing it back. For 4 months in a row, I learned what was self-discipline, I learned what was taking responsibility about things. And I'm pretty grateful and lucky that I could learn that. Maybe it was the hard way, but I learned that as a very young age, and going through these 4 months with every night crying. Every moment I had was, you know, I had a Walkman, you know, the old Walkman where you put CDs. I used to put Svaganagis, and listen to Greek music, and just every time writing the songs down, writing them all over again. I had a book. I was talking with Carolina about it a lot of times. I wish I had that book today, but I don't. And even in the metro, just listening to music, staring at people and trying to read them, like what their thoughts, what are their lives about, what they have as a job, or what do they do in life, or are they happy?
Great.
And, you know, by these 4 or 5 months of going into this kind of lifestyle, I've learned everything. And after these 4 months, it just went from 0 to start winning, start feeling more, you know, happy, more, you know, starting to making friends, starting to finding the routine of living this life. And then I had an extraordinary, difficult but extraordinary experience of life.
And it paid off. This is you, Australian Open Junior Champion 2003, correct?
Yeah.
So you won the Open, and then I think you were finalist in US Open for 2 years in a row.
Yes.
So it really shot up there. Did people in Cyprus realize you were doing this at this stage, or not really?
No, people in Cyprus were mostly telling my family that, you know, you've done a mistake. You know. No, but it's the truth, you know, and that's all I heard. I mean, even back then, when I won the Australian Open, or when I was a junior #1 in the world, the president of COA, the Cyprus sports organization president, even said we prefer to have athletes that go to school than to have #1 junior champions. And you know, but you know, I love that about me, having that all the time, having to shut people's mouth, because it made me bigger, it made me stronger, you know, and it's kind of you know, not to show them, but to take it as a challenge and show yourself what you're able to do.
Yeah. The biggest sudden burst into, I guess, everybody's radar was the Australian Open. Yeah. You get tired of talking about that?
I mean, sometimes
we're gonna talk anyway. So
no, sometimes it hurts when you
yeah.
when you think about that. When sometimes I have thoughts, you know, you could have won a Grand Slam.
Yeah.
You know, it's so, but it's okay.
Yeah. Well, I did some homework.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we were watching you back then, obviously. Well, let's talk about the tournament itself. You beat Andy Roddick, who was number 3. Yeah. And then quarterfinals, Ljubicic, number 7 from Croatia, third country, 5-setter, and then David Nalbandian, 5-setter again, semi-final, world number 4 seed. And could you have imagined that progress before the tournament? Or did it come to you as a surprise? Did you?
Yeah, it was a surprise. I knew I beat Nalbandian before. Was like 4 months before that. I played against Roger Federer 3 times prior that. You know, I had some moments on tour. I'm not saying that it was not a surprise. Of course it was a surprise. It was a Grand Slam. But I played them before, and I was very close I beat some and very close on beating others. So I believed in myself, I guess.
But to have them wide after each other,
no.
I mean, that's amazing.
It's not, and especially in the Grand Slam when it's 5-setters, and you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I was ready.
Yeah. One of the moments that made me very proud was in the final when Eurosport was showing it, obviously, and the commentator said, "Can you imagine how people are feeling in Limassol today?" And for me, for Eurosport to mention not just Cyprus but Limassol, well, suddenly I was like, you know, like, wow, because you know, as people from Lebanon or Cyprus, you know, we cheer for other countries, other clubs, but for the first time I felt like it's one of our own is up there, and that was an amazing feeling. I don't know if people say thank you enough for it, but I'm saying thank you now because it was very special.
You know,
you shared your glory with us.
Yeah, I shared, but you know, I got so much love from the Cypriot people and also the fans around the world that followed me throughout the years. You know, and as an athlete, I think there is nothing better to receive love from actual lovers of the sport and respect from them. I think that's the best gift an athlete could have. And you know, it's not about the fame, it's not about the money, it's about the love you feel, the energy you feel you receive from people. I think that's the most important gift.
So you won the first set, and the second set you were up a break. You could have been up the second break also. So here's the question I'm going to ask you: why didn't you win?
When I was set and it was a break-up 2-0 for me, and 15-40 on his serve, you know, and I lost that game. He broke me back, and kind of I found my way to be stable with him until 6-5 in the second set, where I was serving. I was 40 love up, and that's where it hit me, because I knew that if I go into a tiebreak, I'm ahead. I felt
You felt the pressure.
I felt it, and I start to think a bit about the future. You know, I didn't stay in the present, and then all of a sudden, just things turn around. I make 2 double faults, make 1 forehand mistake down the line. I mean, it's Federer. You give him the chance to breathe or to come up. He just puts you down and never lets you go. So, and that went really fast. It turned around really fast, and it hurt. It hurt for a while. It still hurts sometimes, but
Especially when I bring it up again.
no. I mean, even if you don't bring it up, you know, sometimes I think about it. Sometimes it comes into your head, and it hurts. It really does. But you know, I always, whenever it comes, I always tell to myself that maybe it's a gift that you can, you know, try and explain it to other people, young generations, to not to do those mistakes, you know. And for me, it's always, like I said, whenever there is a problem or a negative thought, I try to turn it into a positive one somehow, find a solution to the problem. And so, you know, anything that, you know, comes in my way, I always find it as a challenge and try to bring it. And I think, yeah, my let's say my purpose now is, you know, to give back to the next generation, my experience, my knowledge, what I went through, and try to, you know, avoid these mistakes.
Yeah. John McEnroe in his book called "You Can't Be Serious," which is his autobiography, he said there were some games in Grand Slam finals, semifinals, where he didn't even want to be on the pitch. He was having issues at home in relationship, and he just was having terrible time. He just didn't want to play even, and people didn't realize that. I mean, you were frustrated there, obviously, at something, but you had games like that where you just didn't want to be on the court?
You cannot imagine how many days in my life I just wanted to hang up my racket, just stop playing. And I'm not saying that because everybody thinks that, you know, oh, you're in a nice hotel, you're earning money, you're traveling, you're seeing different cities, but that's not what it is. You know, it looks like that, but that's not what you do. Every day you have to work. You know, sometimes you have to eat at that time. Every day you have to do things that you have to. It's not that you want to.
Yeah. And one of the things you told me when we were talking about our kids, and you said something very interesting. You said it's very easy to know what you need to do in life as far as you know, whether you're a student, you have to study, but it's very hard to do it sometimes. It's simple but hard. You know,
it's simple but complicated, and yeah, and even, you know, like even with when I coach kids now, you know, they complicate things, but it's very simple. But it's very tough to do because you have to do it every day. You have to do it consistently, and especially tennis, it's a muscle memory, right? So how it's a muscle memory sport. It's a percentage sport. So you have to train your muscle, the memory of the muscle, to do it all over again. So you have to do it. It's not a sport where talent is the one that wins. It's not talent. It's hard work. It's the right work, and you know, it's the mentality. And I think there is no. I mean, I agree with Rafa that the top have this mentality. Yes, of course, but I think every player in the top 100 has a tough mentality because
you wouldn't be there. Though.
You wouldn't be there. You wouldn't be there. There's so many people that play tennis around the world, and that want to be competitive. Of course, the top guys have something extra, which nobody is willing to share with us, which is unfair. But yeah, I think you need a lot of, you know, discipline. Self-discipline for me is very important. And yeah, just do it all over and all over again every day, and keep on doing it until the rest of your career. But there is a lot of times where you want to say, I want to give up.
What percentage is talent? What percentage is work?
There is no percentage.
Something. Give me something.
but 99
Which one is 99?
work,
Yeah,
but not hard. I mean, yes, hard work, but right work.
right kind of work. It's the
Yes.
same in music. I mean, if you practice the right way, the piano. Otherwise, it's
It's same with
Yeah.
everything. You can work hard. You can go through the wall. I mean, you can hit the wall, hit the wall, hit the wall. I mean, yeah, you're gonna go through a bit of the wall, but
yeah, yeah.
you need to find a way. You need to do it in the right way, and I think that's very important. But you know, I think in my life, I went through the wall.
Yeah.
I was, you know, I was just going and going and going since 14 years old, just working, pounding my body, my heart, my soul,
Yeah.
and it was never enough, you know, it was never enough. And yeah, I'm not saying that's good, but at a certain point, that's what you need to do,
Yeah.
you know, you should not accept Medicor, you know, you should go for great and legend and yeah, I was.
Yeah, and you did achieve amazing things. I mean, world number 8 finalist, and then 2010 you beat both Federer and Nadal in the same year while they were number ones. Now I have here some quick questions for you, and you have to quickly answer them. Okay, not think too much about them. Right, quick answers to these questions. Would you rather read a book or watch a movie?
Movie.
Would you rather eat pizza or souvlaki?
Pizza.
Eating out or takeaway?
Takeaway.
Swimming or jogging?
Now swimming before jogging.
Okay, I said one answer. Taking a shower or a bath?
Shower.
Souvlaki or hamburger?
Hamburger.
I thought you loved me souvlaki. I'm disappointed now. Anyway, okay, this
I
is.
live in Cyprus, man.
Yeah, I know. Think carefully before you answer this one.
Oh,
Stuck 1 hour in traffic or stuck 1 hour talking to your mother-in-law?
mother-in-law.
Good. Well done. Well done. These days, watching football or watching tennis?
Football.
Instagram or TikTok?
None.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Chinese food or souvlaki?
Chinese food.
Comedy or thriller?
It depends on the
Comedy.
moment. Right now, thriller.
Thriller, okay. Last question. Interviewed by Mats Wilander on Eurosport or
Mr.
interviewed...
Hovig.
Hovig of Cyprus 1, Mats Wilander of Sweden 0. Thank you, Marcos. Oh, we had fun. I hope you enjoyed it also and were inspired by our Cypriot tennis star. Now, as my regular listeners know, I usually finish my podcast episodes with one of my music compositions. And no, I haven't written any music about tennis yet. But since we highlighted our island of Cyprus so much in this episode, and since we are approaching Christmas, I thought I would share with you my arrangement of a traditional Greek carol which is sung by carolers in Cyprus during the Christmas season, Kypriaka Kalanta. It's from my Peaceful Christmas album. I wanted to give a taste of our island in this album through this carol, but as you can hear, I took plenty of liberties in adding some twists and colors to it. If you enjoyed it, follow the links in the text info of this podcast to download the track and listen to the rest of the album. I also share Marco's Instagram account. You can follow him. Oh, and yes, I promised to tell you at the end why Marcos is the second most popular product of Cyprus. The first place goes to a much more flexible, trim, and sought-after thing. I'm talking, of course, about our halloumi cheese. Hey, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Drop a Note. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you would tune in next time when I talk again about music and life and everything in between. Until then, my name is Hovig, and I am somewhat of a musician.